Hi, this is Ramachandran from onlinemathforall.com. In this video, we are going to see word problems on quadratic equation. So that is, we are going to see how to solve word problems on quadratic equations. Okay, let us see the problem that we have on the board. That is, difference between a number and its positive square root is 12. Find the number. So the information given in the question is, so there is a difference 12 between a number and its positive square root. We just have to find the number. Okay, so what the first step what I'm going to do is I assume the number is x. So I write let x be the number. So I assume the number is x. So we just have to find the value of x to find the number. Okay, let x be the number. So and then we have to find the difference between x and its positive square root. If we take square root for x, for example, 1 second, I take square root for x. So in front of the square root always will have positive or negative sign. So it can be written as positive square root and negative square root. So now we are going to find the difference between the number that is x and its positive square root, that is positive square root of x. I'm going to find difference between these two, x and positive square root of x. So when I find difference between these two, I have to subtract positive square root from x. So I find the difference between the number here is x, that is what we have assumed. The difference between the number that is x and positive square root of x. We find the difference. Since we find the difference, I take negative sign in between them. Here the students may have a question. So why we take negative sign between the two x and positive square root of x? So whenever we find difference between any two numbers, we will take negative sign. For example, okay, I'll ask you a question. What is the difference between 10 and 7? So we know the difference between 10 and 7 is 3. So how do we get 3? Because we subtract 7 from, we subtract 7 from 10. So when you subtract 7 from 10, we get 3. So whenever we find difference between any two numbers, we just have to subtract. So that is what I have done here. So that is the reason for why I have taken negative sign between x and positive square root of x, because we find difference between x and positive square root of x. So when we find difference between a number and its positive square root, so that is equal to 12. So here it is clearly given in the question, difference between a number and its positive square root is 12. So the result of x negative positive square root of x will be equal to 12. X, so this negative times positive will be negative, square root of x is equal to 12. Some students may have a confusion when they see this step, because in the question it says difference between a number and its positive square root, but here you have taken negative square root. What's the reason? So that is not negative square root actually. So that is the negative I have taken for the word difference. I hope now the students will be able to understand this step. So now we just have to solve this equation and get value for x. So for that, what I am going to do is I am just going to take a negative 12 on both sides and also positive root x on both sides. So when I do so, 1 second. So negative root x, positive root x will get cancelled. Positive 12, negative 12 will get cancelled. So on the left side we have x negative 12. On the right side we have square root of x. Okay, let's continue the next step on our next page. So the step what we have on the previous page is x negative 12 is equal to square root of x. Okay, here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take square on both sides in order to get rid of the square root on the right side. So x negative 2 whole square is equal to square root of x the whole square. Here square and root will get cancelled, and here on the left side it's in the form of a negative b the whole square. So if you expand a negative b the whole square, we have a square positive b square negative 2ab. So the same has to be applied for x negative 12. So when I do so, x square positive 12 square negative 2 times x times 12 is equal to, we have x. So x square positive, the square root of 12 is, the square of 12 is 144. Negative 2 times 12 will be 24 times x is equal to x. So now the next step what I am going to do is I am just going to take negative x on both sides. When I do so, on the right side positive x and negative x will get cancelled. So x square positive 144 negative 25x is equal to 0. So x square negative 25x positive 144 is equal to 0. Okay, let's continue the next page on the board. Let's continue the next step on the next page. So we have x square, x square negative 25x positive 144 is equal to 0. Here we have to factor to find the value of x because it's a quadratic equation. Okay, when you factor positive 144 we'll be getting negative 16 negative 9, because when we multiply negative 16 and negative 9 I'll be getting positive 144, and when you add the two factors negative 16 negative 9, that will be equal to the middle term negative 25. So the two factors are x negative 16 times x negative 9 is equal to 0. So either x negative 16 is equal to 0 or x negative 9 is equal to 0. So I just take positive 16 on both sides. So we get two answers for x. X is equal to 16 and x is equal to 9. And here we can't consider both the answers 16 and 9. So we have to check each answer for the given condition. That is the difference between the number and its positive square root must be equal to 12. So here let us consider the first answer. So let us consider the number is 16. The value of its positive square root is 4. That is the square root of 16. So if you want to find difference, you have to take negative sign between these two. So 16 negative square root of 16 will be 4. So we get 12. So the difference between 16 and its positive square root is equal to 12. So the first answer 16 satisfies the given condition. Okay, now let us check the second answer. That is 9 negative square root of 9 is equal to 9 negative the square root of 9 is 3. So we get the result 6. So the difference between a number and its positive square root, we are getting 6. So the second answer can't be accepted because it doesn't satisfy the given condition. That is the difference between a number and its positive square root is 12. So the first answer 16 it satisfies the given condition. So the correct answer is equal to 16. I hope now the students will be able to understand so how to solve this kind of problems by using quadratic equation. Okay students, for more videos like this, please visit www.onlinemathforall.com. Thank you.